For 20 years, Malu and his wife, Zainabu, lived in a quiet house beside the riverbank in the sleepy town of Nkili. They had been married many long years, but their home was silent, no child's cry, no burst of laughter, no small footsteps, only the endless murmur of the river flowing behind the house. Each morning, while the sun still yawned in the sky, Zainabu would walk to the water's edge. She would kneel slowly, lay her hand on her stomach, and whisper, "O gods of the earth, give me just one child before I return to dust." She spoke it like a daily hymn, rain or shine, harmattan or heat. Her voice was low but swollen with sorrow. Malu always sat a little behind her, quiet. He no longer prayed aloud. He simply watched her, his sighs thin and tired, like wind caught in a broken flute. People began to talk. Whispers floated around like flies. "Her womb is tied with chains," they said. Or maybe it's Malu, perhaps he eats his children in the dream. But Malu and Zainabu never replied. They just kept hoping. They moved from hospital to hospital. Each doctor examined them and shook their heads. "Medically, you're fine," they always said. Then came the prayer houses. Prophets would splash oil on Zainabu's belly, bang her forehead, and shout, "Receive it. Your baby is here," until she collapsed like dry cassava leaf. But nothing came of it, just headaches and tears. Next came the herbalist. The man's beard was long like a duster. His voice rumbled like a storm. He handed them bitter herbs. "This potion opened a womb that was closed like a drum. Drink it." They drank. Their mouths twisted like bitter leaves soaked in salt. They believed. But a month passed, and Zainabu's belly stayed flat, flat as wet stone. Then came strange midnight rituals. They were told to bathe under the full moon, carry calabashes, chant unfamiliar words, and walk backward into the water. The river didn't speak. The moon only watched. People advised them to sow a seed. Malu sold his only tricycle, the one he used to carry palm oil to the market. "Heaven will see our sacrifice," he told Zainabu. She fasted, no food, no drink, for 14 days. Her lips cracked. Her knees shook. But she held on. "Perhaps pain is the price," she whispered. The years stacked like logs in a rainy season, wet and heavy with grief. On their 15th year of marriage, they met a robed man of God. He looked at Zainabu and said, "You can only bear a child through a spiritual covenant, with me, on my bed." Zainabu's eyes widened. She dropped to the floor and wailed like a wounded girl. "No. Never." That night, she curled into Malu's arms and sobbed. They didn't speak. They just sat by the water, listening to frogs call into the dark. The next morning, they packed. They left town, far from eyes, far from voices. They built a small house by another riverbank. No more prophets. No more hospitals. No more strangers shouting, "Receive." Just silence. Just waiting. And so they stayed, alone with their pain, alone with their hope. No noise. No guests. Only the river flowing like time. The girl who ran. In the bustling town of Awanta, there lived a girl named Amara. Her skin was golden like ripe maize. Her hair curled like climbing vines. When she walked, men paused. Boys whispered. Even goats stared. Her friends teased, "Amara, you too fine. If I had your beauty, I would marry a senator." Traders in the market would murmur, "This one is not village material, she looks like Lagos money." Her parents adored her. Her mother cooked her best soups. Her father bought her finest clothes. But Amara didn't feel it. When they said, "Amara, wash the plates. Sweep the yard," she would hiss, "What am I? Your maid." She wanted to wear what she liked, say what she pleased, go where she wanted. But home had rules, tight ones. One evening, her parents discussed her quietly. They only said, "Our daughter," but those words stung her like pepper. That night, when all were asleep, she quietly packed a small bag, some clothes, her mirror, her cream. She left a note by the door. "I've gone to find my life. Don't search for me." Before the cock crowed, her parents found the letter. They cried. They ran through the streets, calling her name, Amara. Amara. Please come home. But it was too late. Amara walked far until her legs hurt. But she didn't turn back. She reached a new town. No friends. No family. But her face opened doors. Her beauty spoke loud, louder than words. Men stared. Women gossiped. She found a small room to rent. Clean. Quiet. She bought new clothes, bold and bright. She painted her lips, curled her lashes, wore perfume like dreams in a bottle. And most importantly, no one told her what to do. She made new friends, girls like her. They danced, painted nails, laughed loudly, and took pictures under the sun. "Now I'm living," Amara said, admiring her reflection in a car window. Then one day, a man in flowing white and gold chains saw her. His eyes locked onto her like a hawk spotting prey. His name was Chief Barocco. And that was when things began to change. Chief Barocco was a man with a voice that filled rooms and money that silenced mouths. He owned filling stations, goosehouses, trucks, and 2 wives who rarely smiled. But even with all he had, he wanted more, and what he wanted now was Amara. He met her at a roadside buka. She was sipping malt, her skin glowing like dusk after rain. He sent his bodyguard with a message: "The chief would like to buy your drink, and your company." Amara smiled. She'd seen this game before. She looked at the guard and said, "Tell your chief my time is not for sale." The bodyguard blinked. No one ever said no to Chief Barocco. Later that evening, Chief came himself. He drove a sleek black jeep with windows dark as secrets. He stepped out, his agbada sweeping dust like a broom. "My dear," he said smoothly, "they call me Barocco, but my enemies call me a storm. I see you, and I see a star. Let me light your path." Amara laughed. "You don't even know my name." "Names don't matter when destiny is involved," he replied. He took her number. The next day, flowers arrived at her doorstep. Then a box with silk dresses. Then an envelope with crisp notes, fresh from the mint. Then came lunch at an expensive restaurant, where the chairs were so soft she felt guilty sitting. He didn't touch her. Not yet. Just gifts. Just promises. Then came the biggest one. "Amara," he said one day, as they drove past a quiet part of town, "I bought this land for you. You said you wanted to start a boutique. Here's the place. The deed is in your name." Amara's breath caught. "Why me?" Chief smiled. "Because I see fire in you, and I don't want the world to put it out." She fell. Into the promise, into the perfume of power. She said yes. The nights became golden. She moved into a new flat with tiles that chilled her feet and curtains like wine. Her friends envied her. She was living the dream, or so it seemed. Until the dream turned. The deal she didn't make. It started subtly. Chief began checking her phone. "Who's this, Tund? Your cousin or your customer?" Then came the curfews. "No, you're not going out dressed like that. My name is attached to you now." Then came the visits. Unannounced. Late. Loud. One night, he hit her. Just once. A slap that rang like a gunshot. He came the next day with gold earrings and an apology. "It's love. I'm afraid of losing you." Amara forgave him. But her laughter changed. It came slower, dimmer, like light from a dying bulb. She stopped seeing friends. She stopped answering her parents' calls. Then, one day, she discovered she was pregnant. She told Chief. He frowned. Is it mine? That night, he didn't come home. The next day, her boutique was locked. Her account, emptied. Her phone, cut off. Her world, crumbling. She went to his house. His guards didn't let her in. His wives watched from upstairs, smiling. She stood at his gate for hours, clutching her belly. He came out and said one word, leave. She left. The river gives back. One early morning, just as the sun was peeling open the sky, Malu and Zainabu heard something strange, like a cat crying. But sharper. Softer. Human. They rushed outside. By the edge of the river, wrapped in a shawl, lay a baby girl, no note, no name, just tears and trembling fists. Zainabu gasped. Malu dropped to his knees. They looked around. No one in sight. Zainabu picked up the baby, her hands shaking. The child stopped crying immediately, eyes wide and wet like stars. Malu whispered, "Z, is this?" She nodded, tears falling. She is ours now. They named her Asanachi, she comes from God. They raised her like dawn raises the day, soft, warm, faithful. Asanachi grew with laughter on her lips and questions in her eyes. The villagers said, "You mean that woman with the flat belly is now carrying a child?" Some said it was witchcraft. Others said it was mercy. Zainabu said nothing. Malu only smiled. They loved that childlike breath. Asanachi was no ordinary child. By the time she was 4, she could recite full stories she'd only heard once. At 5, she asked questions that made elders pause. Why do people cry in their sleep? If God gave me to you, does that mean I was with him before? Zainabu would smile, braiding her daughter's hair. Yes, you were with him. And he whispered your name to the river. Malu taught her to fish, though she never liked killing them. She would release the small ones back into the water, whispering, "Go and tell your mother you're safe." She had dreams, vivid ones, of red cloth, crying women, and a man with a gold watch and a heavy voice. She'd wake up screaming sometimes. Zainabu would hold her, stroking her back, whispering, "You're safe. You're ours. That life is behind you." But even the river can't bury the past forever. A stranger in the market. On a dusty Tuesday, when the sun perched high and the market was swollen with buyers, a car pulled into the village square. Sleek. Black. Too clean for a place with goats wandering freely. From it stepped a woman in sunglasses, her hair tightly wrapped, her dress simple, but rich. She asked for Mama Zainabu. The market women watched. Someone pointed toward the riverside. The woman walked. When Zainabu opened her door and saw her, she froze. Amara. Amara removed her sunglasses. Her eyes were red, like someone who hadn't slept for days, or years. I heard there was a child found by the river, she said. Zainabu didn't answer. Asanachi stepped outside, holding a mango. She looked at the woman. The mango dropped. For a moment, silence. Then Amara's knees gave out. Zainabu caught her. Truth like a flood. That night, after the child had gone to bed, Zainabu and Amara sat by the fire. Malu sat too, arms folded, his eyes wary. Amara spoke. When I was with child, Chief Baroko abandoned me. I had nothing. I begged. I thought I'd give her a better chance by letting her go. I left her by the water. But I never forgot. Never. Her voice cracked. I went mad for a while. Literally. I was in Yaba left for 3 months. I lost my name. I lost everything. But I came back. And I searched. Every year. Every river. Every village. Until someone mentioned your name. She turned to Zainabu. You saved her. Zainabu looked down. Malu asked quietly, why now? Amara wiped her face. I want to know her. Not take her, just know her. Tell her the truth, when she's ready. And maybe she can forgive me. The girl who belonged to 2 worlds. Asanachi grew with the truth hidden like a pearl in deep water. But she felt it. At 12, she asked Zainabu, am I really from you? Zainabu hesitated. Then she told her the story, not all of it, but enough. A woman left you by the river. I found you. I named you. I raised you. You are mine in every way that matters. But yes, you had another beginning. Asanachi didn't cry. She nodded. One day, can I meet her? Zainabu sighed. If your heart says so. Years passed. Amara visited quietly. She never forced herself. She brought books, clothes, stories. She taught Asanachi how to sew, how to balance a budget, how to speak like someone who knew the world. Zainabu taught her how to kneel before elders, how to bless water before drinking, how to listen to the wind. Malu taught her silence. By 18, Asanachi was a bridge between 2 lives, the girl from the river, and the woman rising from it.